And now we are officially live. Once again, my name is Quicksilva. You hear me every day, 3 until 7 on B-More's 92Q. It's quick, all that good stuff. But right now, it's not about me. It's about Guinness. And I was here once before talking about the amazing beers. I had no idea there was more than one beer. But until this guy right here, my good friend Ryan, said, quick, there's probably 1 million beers. That's why we're here again today. First and foremost, Ryan, welcome me back to your home.
Yeah, no, it's great to see you here, man. It's a crazy time for us. Glad that we can make this work and to introduce people. I think last time we were virtual. This time in living color, man. We're at the brewery and getting geared up for a big day for us, St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, as you see, we still got our masks on because unfortunately we're still in the pandemic. But you can still social distance right here at the brewery. Do amazing things. Now tell us what you have going on for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so you mentioned, we're still very much in a pandemic, so we wanted people to feel as safe and as comfortable and taken care of as possible. And our staff here has done an incredible job with that. Unfortunately, I suppose we've had a lot of practice now. It's been a while, right? So it's been a year. I know we shut our doors officially last year on March 13th. So it's hard to believe that it's been a year. But the good news there is that we've had a lot of time to figure out the best way to make this process work for us here at the brewery. So normally for us on St. Patrick's Day, it's one big day, or that weekend is just a massive weekend for us. We wanted people to feel like they didn't have to be here on one specific day or one specific weekend. So the entire month of March, starting last weekend, continuing this weekend, and then for 2 more weeks, every weekend is kind of the same. We're going to release a beer every Friday, live music every Saturday, a couple of cool food specials every Sunday. So giving people the opportunity to feel like they can spread out, come each weekend or come one of the weekends and just kind of take their time. And the great thing is, man, we have so much space here. I'm sure when you walked in here, it's massive. And
I was blown away. Like I thought I was walking to maybe, I don't know, an office or something. I'm like, this is a whole complex.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we've got an 1.5 acres outside. All the tables are as distanced as we can make them. I think it's more like 10 or 12 feet rather than 6 feet. And inside as well, we're in here, we're in our barrel room right now. So this is an environment where everybody can feel safe. And what I always say is, man, the last 12 months, giving people a space where they can leave the baggage sort of outside just for an hour. So they come in. Yeah. And the good news is, we're wearing masks right now because we're trying to set a great example. But when people come in, as long as you're at your table with the people that you came with, we have to limit it to 6 people per table. That's the state law right now. But while you're at your table, eating your food, drinking your beer, whatever the case may be, the masks can come off. We just ask that you put them back on if you walk into the restroom or walk into our retail shop, whatever the case may be.
Makes awesome. One thing, just so my name is Quicksilva. This is Ryan on behalf of Guinness. Now, you said it's happening all month long, but is it just on weekends?
So we're only open Thursday through Sunday, right? Yeah, so what we realized was March 17th is always St. Patrick's Day. So the number 17 is always a big one for us. We realized there's 4 weekends in March, so 4 days per weekend. Plus, we're opening on Wednesday, which is the 17th. That's 17 days. So using the old marketing tool there. 17 days in March we're open. The Wednesday of next week, we're open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that's a big, long day when everybody can kind of come in and have a beer or two and take their time. But yeah, Thursdays are movie nights. Fridays a beer release. Today, actually, the one that we have that you've got next to you is today's beer release. I don't know if you want to take a quick sip.
Take a quick sip. Don't worry, we're still social distancing.
This is our Clover Honey Ale.
This is amazing.
So the honey is actually, I was going to say grown. Honey isn't grown.
Hold on 1 second. Drink responsibly. I'm over the age of 21. Make sure you're over 21 if you're drinking. No sneaking and drinking, college kids. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Everybody responsibly every day. But the honey that we source is made on the Eastern Shore. So this is Maryland honey in the beer. And a lot of people are expecting it to be like overly sweet or very rich. But honey fully ferments out of a beer. So what you get is just kind of bone dry, really drinkable. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. This is one of my favorites we do every year.
I love it. I'm a big honey guy. I put honey in my tea every morning. So I love the taste of that honey. Yeah. And I'm still blown away because, as I mentioned, when I first talked to Ryan, I don't know, 2 months ago, and we were talking about Guinness, I honestly thought that there was like beer. Like you drink wine, you drink beer.
Yeah.
I had no idea that there were different types of beer, different flavors of beer that don't taste like beer for a lot of people who might not be a quote-unquote beer drinker. He really showed me that there's something. Guinness has something for everybody. So if you're a wine and spirits guy or girl, and you like that flavor, they have a beer that tastes like it.
Yeah, I mean, we needed this place to be, to your point, man, a brewery for everybody. And what's tough is that legally we can't sell liquor. We can't sell wine. Right? We're a brewery. We can sell what we make. So our job, what our brewers do every day, it's remarkable to me, man. Because you come in, and to your point, we get this question all the time. Oh, I'm a white wine drinker. Right. Okay, well, here's 3 or 4 beers that might suit your palate. We have a beer right now, one that somebody just put down next to me. This is a beer that's being released, and I'll hold it up there. Oh no, look, we're getting the green screen again. So this is a barrel-aged mint chocolate stout that's 12% alcohol. So for people that are wine drinkers, that's sort of the ABV where they're comfortable. Now, I wouldn't say you drink this 16-ounce can, bring a friend, right? Share these beers. But that beer is one that spent, 4 months, I think, in a bourbon barrel. It's got mint added to it. It's got pure cacao added to it. So you get all of these flavors. And to your point, it doesn't really taste like beer at that point. It's much more of a cocktail-inspired flavor.
Yeah, once again, St. Patrick's Day all month long right here at the Guinness Brewery. Now, also, they're not just beer. They have food and beverage specials, offerings. We're going to bring Melanie up as well on the screen. She's going to show you some things that they have right here. If you can bring Melanie up, Brian, but she's going to actually kind of show you around some of the special food and beverage offers they have.
Yeah, so Melanie right now is in our tap room. So that's our main space. She's actually just outside of our doors here. That's the main tap room. Again, it's just such a huge space that we've got here. Each floor is 22,500 square feet. We've got 3 floors in this building, not to mention the 2 acres outside.
Wow.
But you mentioned food. Yeah, I mean, we're not just about beer here. We're going to give you all kinds of food options. And I think a lot of people, when they think about St. Patrick's Day, you think about some of those classic Irish, the corned beef and cabbage. You think about shepherd's pie. And we're going to give you those sorts of things. But we're also doing a lot of things that are local. So you're going to get oysters. You're going to get, crab fries. Yeah, we're not doing steamed crabs right now, but
I got excited.
We have a crab flatbread. We got a crab flatbread right now. So we're going to try to not only, integrate what people think about when they think of Ireland and St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, so now she's over in the retail shop. So you mentioned food. We talked about beer. And you can also get some gear, man. I mean, it's lots of St. Patrick's Day inspired stuff. We try to refresh it every year. So if you were here last year for St. Patrick's Day, it's a new shirt this time around. There's some of our to-go beer that Melanie's showing us right now. And yeah, if there's a beer for everybody, there's also probably a shirt for everybody over there. We got all kinds of stuff. This is very much an experience, man. And I think one of the things that I don't say confuses people, but one question that we get all the time is, this place is so huge. There's so much to do. How much does it cost to get in? It's a tap room. You just come in. We're not going to charge you. It's all right.
Hold on, everybody.
We're going to charge you for your beer.
Of course. You tell me I can come in here and walk around all this amazing space that Melanie is showing us. And it's no cost to get in. I can tell my friends.
Well, and even, in years past when we've gotten to St. Patrick's Day, we've done ticketed events and donated the money that we raised through tickets to charity. But this year, because again, we're trying to spread people out, there's no tickets. There might be a wait when you show up because our staff are taking people through the proper way to order and giving them all the rules and regulations that we're dealing with right now. But even if there is a line outside, stick with it because it's not going to be long before we get you a table. There's just so many tables in here.
All right, so we're talking about, of course, the beers you have. You have the food and beverage. You have the gift shop. Will there be live entertainment, any music this weekend?
Yeah. Look, this is the tough part, right? Because we are bringing in a band. It's one of our favorites, 19th Street Band. They play a lot of, D.C., Maryland, out in Frederick as well. These guys just play a little bit of everything. Very close friends of mine. But the problem is, live music makes you want to dance,
right?
And we can't. You got to dance at your table. So as long as people are dancing at your table, that's the tricky thing. But they're going to be here every Saturday from 3 to 7, and on Wednesday on St. Patrick's Day from 3 to 7 as well. And then when you think about St. Patrick's Day and you think about Guinness, you also think about traditional Irish music. So on Sundays we've got fiddle players and guitar players, just kind of that more acoustic, kind of slower, mellow sound that's going to be all Sunday. But the Saturday band, 19th Street Band, they're fantastic. I'm looking forward to having them every weekend.
Once again, we just turned in to 92Q. My name is Quicksilva. This is my good friend Ryan from right here in the Guinness Brewery. We in the, what do you call it, the barrel room?
The barrel room, yeah, aptly named. We're surrounded by barrels in here. This site actually was an old whiskey distillery. So we've got lots of barrels. There's a lot of history to this site. And this one, it's just a little private event space.
I'm glad you used the word history because I want you to tell me a little more about the Guinness history for people who might not know about Guinness as much as I know.
Yeah. Now you're an expert. Now.
I knew nothing about it when I first talked to you.
Not only do a lot of people think that Guinness is just one beer, it's monolithic for a lot of people. They just think it's some massive company that exists in Dublin and that there's no personality, there's no history, there's no stories there. But we probably lead the world in stories, man. We've been around since 1759. The lease that was signed by our founder, a guy named Arthur Guinness in Dublin, He signed it for 9,000 years. So we got some beer left to make. We're going to be around a while. But that brewery has been around for a really, really long time. And we brew at 50 different breweries around the world. We're served in 180 countries. Guinness is very much a global name. And I think one of the things that always amazes me is, again, when you think about Guinness, I know we're talking about St. Patrick's Day, you think about Ireland. But there's a sign right out front of our brewery here that talks about some of our other breweries and where they are in the world. We've been exporting our beer to the Caribbean, to Africa, to places like South Korea, Malaysia, for so many years that when you go to some of these other communities around the world, our biggest brewery on earth is in Lagos, Nigeria. It's the #2 sales market that we have in the world. So, like, thinking about Guinness in terms of just Ireland or just that type of food, I mean, there are people in India that are eating spicy curry dishes with Guinness beer. So I mean, there's a lot going on.
Right now.
Yeah, so she's taking a look at some of the ingredients that we use to brew beer. So you guys are getting a little mini tour here. So the water, using malt. Beer is a really simple thing. I mean, it's 4 ingredients. You can use a lot more. Like we have mint, chocolate, honey, all those things.
What are the 4 ingredients?
If you're making beer, it's water, malt, some kind of malted grain, so typically barley, hops, which are the bittering agent, and also give you some aroma, and then yeast. And yeast is what ferments the sugar that you get from the barley, turns it into alcohol. And so all you need is really 4 ingredients. It's pretty remarkable. It's a very simple thing, and it's hard.
The crazy part, like I mentioned when I first talked to Ryan, is when I think Guinness, my family's Caribbean background.
We did talk about yes.
So when I think Guinness, I thought Guinness, honestly, please don't laugh at me because you schooled me, and I'm a lot more wiser now when it comes to Guinness and beer. I thought Guinness only had the stout. Like I had no idea Guinness had any other beer. So when I think Guinness, I thought the Guinness stout, that's the brown, sappy looking beer. Yep. I thought that was you guys' only beer. Yeah. Because in Jamaica, you say Guinness, it's just that. That's all we know. We've never seen any of the other beers. So I was surprised to know that Guinness was something more than the stout.
Well, and in a lot of those places, right? We mentioned Nigeria. Guinness is huge in Cameroon and Ghana. You mentioned Jamaica and Haiti. Yeah. So many of these places where the beer has been for literally hundreds of years. But in those communities, to your point, foreign extra stout, that's the beer. And we serve it here. You can get that beer here. But that's the one that in almost every other part of the world where Guinness is served, that's Guinness. That's the beer. And, in a lot of other places around the world, even in a place like Ireland, we think of beer here in this country and people think about craft beer and tap rooms and hundreds of different styles and all kinds of different beers. But in lots of other communities around the world, as Mel's right now on our first floor, anything we can dream up, we get to brew up. I mean, that's sort of at the core of what we do. If the brewers have an idea, they're going to try to make it come to life. But when you're in a place like Jamaica, not only is foreign extra stout the only Guinness, but they take that foreign extra stout, and this was something else we talked about. I hear people talk about milk punch, where you're adding condensed milk and you're adding cinnamon and nutmeg and like all these different spices. And sort of every family tradition has their unique way of making that drink. So that's one of my favorite things about Guinness is that it's so much intertwined into the families and heritages and cultures of people around the world. And that's such a cool thing for us to be able to say.
Once again, my name is Quicksilva Ryan. Please drink responsibly, over the age of 21 only. We don't want to hear about nobody trying to sneak and drink. Wait till you're 21, then you can enjoy Guinness as much as you like, but still drink responsibly.
As much as you like.
But be responsible. No drinking and driving ever in life. Ever in life. That's a no-no. So if you know you're going to come here and have a few beers, we're not judging you. Just call an Uber or Lyft.
Absolutely. Yeah, we partner with Lyft. We have a Lyft stop right outside. That's even got a place to charge your phone, so you can wait for the Lyft while you're charging your phone. Yeah, but I mean, even within that, I also want to let people know we're family friendly. So we're not going to serve alcohol, certainly to minors.
Bring the kids.
But bring the kids. Yeah. And it's a great place. And again, if you're not a beer drinker, if you are the designated driver that day, which by the way, heroes, every one of them, thank you so much if you decide to do that. But there's going to be something for you to do, whether it's food, learning a little bit about history. Mel was down there showing us around the first floor. There is going to be something that engages you, and you're going to have an experience here, even if it's not with the beer. Yeah. Most people are coming for the beer, but there's a lot going on here, even outside of just what we do from a brewing standpoint.
Speaking of outside, I think I was going to actually go outside in just a second and show the outdoor space. But how are you guys really handling as far as COVID-19? Right, some people, unfortunately, they're still afraid of outside.
Yeah, I totally respect that. We know there's a lot of apprehension as well. There, as well there should be. It makes sense. Yeah, there's Melanie showing us the outdoors. So that's the big, almost 2-acre beer garden. And I hope she's going to scroll to the right here and show you the whole. Yeah, there we go. Look at that pan. She's a professional camera woman. So now what we're looking at is the big lawn setup. There's a huge tent that is open on the side, so it's COVID safe as well. So yeah, to answer your question, man, it's been a tough year. You know, we've had to figure out a new hospitality model. And I'm very proud of the staff, the work that they've done. You know, we've been following local advice, state advice, from the CDC, from the National Restaurant Association, trying to do our best to create as safe an environment as possible. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of. If you look at reviews right now, if you go on to any review site for our brewery, I think that's the most consistent thing. We felt safe. We felt taken care of. We felt like everything was distanced. Our staff, if you put an empty cup down and turn around, that cup is gone and that has been wiped down before you know it. But then also, to your point, you mentioned that people may still have some apprehension. We totally understand that, to the point where if you're celebrating your St. Patrick's Day at home this month, we have a curbside program where you can go on to GuinnessBreweryBaltimore.com, choose some food, choose some of the beers, some of the same things that people are getting when they come to the brewery. Pull up outside, pop your trunk, it is contact free, and head home. Guinness can still be part of your celebration, even if it's not going to be here.
All month long, St. Patrick's Day is all about, of course, Guinness. Shout out once again to Melanie for showing us an outside view. One thing I want to stress, at least the feedback I've been getting for people who are afraid to kind of come outside during COVID, it was more so they were afraid to be indoors.
Yeah.
The fact that they have an outdoor space where you can sit outside and drink your beer, you can sit outside and eat your food. So there's something for everybody, because for some reason people feel a little safer outside because it's more of a fresh air feel. So if you're one of those people, once again, we're not judging you. We encourage you to come down here as well. Every weekend, all month long for St. Patrick's Day, sit outside. Requested outside seating.
Yeah. I mean, that's on a day like today where it's supposed to be close to 60 degrees. It's going to be sunny. That might be where the wait is longest. But I think even if we are absolutely slammed, we have at least 100 tables outside. Melanie's now out on the ground level out there showing us around. So there are plenty of tables out there. We just opened our doors today a little while ago. You can already see people out there enjoying the weather. Nice. We have gotten very fortunate. Last weekend and this weekend, weather looks great. Hopefully Wednesday the rain stays away. But we're going to do whatever we can. And we could have fit more tables out there, quite frankly. But for us, it was more important to create that distance, to create that safe feel. So as you can see Mel's camera right now, there is so much room to spread out there. The trick is, and again, if you're coming with more than 6 people, we're going to put you at separate tables because we have to. But I think the biggest issue we've run into occasionally is people want to get up and go to the other table and it's really tough. I know how challenging that is. When you're here, when you're at a table, that's your table, that's your spot. And the great thing is we also put in a new system called GoTab, which is the QR code guy 15 years later is finally getting his due. Whoever it was that made QR codes, these days finally, he's like, I knew it was coming. So QR codes are on every table. You sit down at your table, our staff member will, she's showing us QR code. On cue, man.
Hey, Mel, you are amazing.
Mel is killing it.
You get her a raise today.
Yeah. So you could also there, she showed the clean sign. So that clean sign indicates to our staff that is a table that has been sanitized, that's ready to be sat. As soon as somebody sits down, that sign is flipped over, showing us that it's in use. So when somebody gets up and leaves, our staff knows to go and clean that table. So we've put in every protocol we possibly could. It's a great place to be, man. It is my favorite place in the world. It sort of has to be because I'm here every waking moment.
You drink beer every day? You drink beer every day?
Do I drink beer every day? I not every day, but what I will tell you is the way that I drink beer versus the way that people just coming up for a cool Saturday out with their friends. I'm not drinking beer the same way they're drinking beer. But it's
no cake parties at Ryan's.
No cake parties at Ryan's house. I almost bought a kegerator for the house, and my wife was like, "Enough, absolutely not. We're drawing the line at the kegerator." So you can see we've also got some retail, that same store feel that we've got up here inside the space. If you want to stay outside to pick up a shirt or a hat or whatever, we've got a little small version of our retail shop out there as well.
Very nice. Once again, man, you know why we're here. St. Patrick's Day is not just a one-day celebration here again. It's going to be all month long. Where can people get more information, of course, on how they can be a part of this, not just this celebration, but just in Guinness as a whole?
Yeah. So it's funny you say that we're celebrating all month long. It's not just one day. It used to be. But somebody asked me the other day, so like, you think this whole month long thing, is that going to stick? And I was like, probably. Yeah, that's the standard moving forward. Yeah. So GuinnessBreweryBaltimore.com is a great resource because it's not only going to tell you what we're doing every week in terms of this month. It's also got a great FAQ in terms of our COVID protocols, what to expect when you show up. We're talking about the lawn, the big one that everybody gets mad at us about. We absolutely cannot have dogs. I want to bring my dog down here too. It's not dog friendly. So we've had a lot of people that show up with the dog and are like, man, can't get him. Yeah. And don't leave your dog in the car when you're at the brewery. Don't do it. So the brewery's the website is great. The other thing I would say, Facebook, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. It's a great way to get out.
Facebook and Instagram?
The Facebook is Guinness Brewery US, and the Instagram is the same thing. I think actually Facebook is Guinness Open Gate Brewery US, and then on Instagram it's just Guinness Brewery US. They're great ways to stay in touch with us. The other thing I would point out, man, even if you're not going to make it to the brewery, because I know we got people watching that may not be local to us here. You're famous. You got people watching from all over.
I'm okay.
So if you're not local to the brewery, again, Guinness is available in so many places.
Okay.
So if you're stopping by your liquor store, if you're stopping by your bottle shop, whatever it is, look for Guinness, man. And not only are you going to see Guinness Draft, the one that everybody knows and loves, chances are you're going to see Baltimore Blonde, which is our flagship beer here, which you've tried. Or
amazing, by the way. I put the stamp on that.
Or you're going to find Foreign Extra Stout, the one that's part of your heritage.
So my Caribbean master, yeah.
Yes. So look out for. I mean, again, we talked about Guinness is not just one beer. There's something out there to suit everybody's palate.
And of course, with the summertime kind of heading towards us, the weather's a lot more amazing. Me, myself, a lot of my friends were cigar smokers.
Yeah.
Is there a particular beer you might pair with a nice mild or medium cigar?
Yeah, that's actually an interesting question. There is a German tradition of brewing beer that's called a Rauch beer. It's Rauch. Looks like Rauch beer. Rauch beer is used smoked malt. So they add some smoked malt. And if you think about like the way Scotch is made and that smoky sort of peaty character, they do a similar thing with beer. So the idea of smoking a beer, essentially, we have not done one here yet. I think we've toyed around with the idea. But of the beers that we have on right now, I think something that's got some barrel aged character. So the mint chocolate stout, we have an imperial stout right now that was also in bourbon barrels. When you think about the barrel character, you get a little bit of that oaky sort of character, vanilla kind of characteristics. The same words that they use an awful lot when you talk about cigars. You get the fig and sort of the dark fruit characteristics. All those things I think would blend really well.
Is there any cigar section outside?
There is a smoking section outside. Yeah, so it's around the corner on the outside lawn area, but there's a dedicated smoking section.
All my cigar smokers, if you want to come enjoy your beer on a nice hot day with your cigar, come on out here as well. Once again, we are family friendly, so I don't want you to watch this and think that if I don't drink beer, I can't come. No, bring the kids. There's so much to see. I mean, we gave you kind of a virtual tour, but that was probably 1% of the 100. Like, it's so much to see here. I'm telling you, you can be here for hours, just literally walking around this whole complex. Amazing.
There's a lot to see. I mean, and hopefully, as we move into a post-COVID world, knock on every bit of wood that we got. But there's a lot of room for us to grow here in Baltimore. We have a 62-acre site. Again, a lot of history that's a part of this part of the world. So we try to build on that. We try to celebrate that as much as we can. And we are very much a local brewery. We're working with local ingredients. We're welcoming, especially during COVID times, the people that are coming into this brewery. They're not tourists, man. These are our neighbors. These are people from Baltimore, from DC, from everywhere in between that are coming and supporting and just looking for a place right now more than ever, man. After, quarantine combined with the cold, dreary winter months, the sun is coming out. And I think everybody is just ready for a place that you can just spread out. What we're noticing, and I find this, it's kind of funny to me, people are staying so much longer now. Right. Because that's exactly right.
My mom went out. I mean, several times. Figuring out something because I'm back in the house. It's like now the harsh reality hits back in that you're still dealing with COVID.
Well, hey, man, Sunday morning you come out, get a full Irish breakfast when we open at 11. Stick around for lunch. Finish with a roast dinner on Sunday night. That's a full day. You got to be careful with the beer, but that's a full day of eating and drinking and just being in a safe place.
Once again, if someone isn't beer drinker, but they want to try one, which one would you suggest?
Yeah, so that's a great question from Cooking with Kels.
Hey, Kels, what's up, Kelson? That's my guy. He's a great chef, by the way.
So, Kelson, what I would say to you is, number one, because you're a chef, what are we eating? Because that to me is going to play a part in what I'm recommending. But number two, if there are, if you're not a drinker at all, I would talk to you about what flavors do you enjoy eating? What flavors do you enjoy in, whether it's sodas or fruit juices or if you're a coffee drinker, any of those things can help me better determine. So, for coffee drinkers, for instance, the way that we roast coffee beans before we eventually strain water over them and drink coffee, that roasting process is identical to the way we roast barley to turn it into darker beers like stouts. So all of our stouts kind of have a coffee-like character that might really speak to somebody who likes coffee. If you're a white wine drinker, you're going to want something that's very low in bitterness because beer tends to be bitter. Wine usually isn't. Yeah. So one that I gave you the last time we spoke was white ale. Yeah.
I'm not just talking on the spot. Like, I'm the same way. I'm not a full-on beer drinker. I drink beer when I'm eating crab, stuff like that. And I asked him that exact same question. And luckily, I had a beer there. Which one was it?
It was the white ale.
The white ale. It tastes nothing like when I think of beer, I think of like back in the day, beer.
Yeah.
Like it tastes nothing like beer. I was really surprised.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all a question of ingredients, of flavor profiles, of aromas, of bitterness, sweet versus dry. I mean, there's a million questions that we'll ask people, and I'm very proud of the fact, I get to train our staff here. It's an incredible honor. These guys have bought into our process 100%. So if anybody comes up, and if you are one of those people that says I'm not a beer drinker, just grab one of our bartenders, grab one of our staff, and say, hey man, this is what I really like. These are the flavors I like. I guarantee you they're going to find something that suits your palate.
And I definitely, I can vouch for that. Somebody said I'm a Guinness dog drinker. Can't wait to try the honey.
Oh yeah.
Let me go ahead and take another.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's such a unique one, man. The other one I'll point out, I mentioned the mint chocolate stout. We've also got, if you're coming this weekend, you might still see this one. This is our breakfast tea amber. So Quick, you mentioned you drink tea in the morning. This is one that I've got to get you to try. It's an amber ale, an American amber ale, but we steeped in breakfast tea. So it's got kind of a tea characteristic, a little bit of a lemony characteristic as well. It's a great one for tea drinkers. I mean, again, you said it best earlier. There's something here for everybody.
Here's a real random question. I know we got to wrap up in a minute or so, but the random question, a lot of times when people are doing date nights right now,
sure,
date nights are a popular thing, especially now that COVID is kind of getting to a place where people are comfortable coming out. Can I come here with my wife or my husband, whatever, and like make my own beer or anything like that?
That's you're gonna have to talk to Holly, our head brewer. I bet she's gonna say no. No, there's nothing like that. But what I will say is, I think as we get back to some semblance of whatever the new normal is going to be, the tours were always really popular. Our guided tours are amazing when we're able to do them. Even now, right? You can come out here. We're going to give you some amazing food, some amazing drink. It's a great atmosphere to be in. But if you're looking to stay home for a date night, we're also doing virtual tastings. And so I know virtual people are getting exhausted, man, by virtual. I get it. But those same tour guides that were so great at giving us those in-person tours, and will be again, we built a program where you can come pick up the beer from the brewery, and you go home, you split those beers between you and your wife, girlfriend, whatever it is, and they take you through an hour-long presentation on Guinness history, on innovation, on creativity, the brewing process, all those things. And it's a great way to spend an hour, man. That's a great date night idea if you're sticking at home.
Hey, well, you heard from the man Ryan himself. Once again, what's the website so people can get more information? They can buy their beer, they can get their curbside, they can be a part of St. Patrick's Day. How can they reach us?
Yep, so GuinnessBreweryBaltimore.com or just Google Guinness Brewery. It's going to pop right up. That website's going to give you the FAQ about all of our COVID protocols. It's going to give you the opportunity to order curbside if you'd like to do that. And also just fill you in on everything that we've got going on for the next few weeks.
I love it. When you come here and ask for Ryan or ask for Melanie and tell them Quicksilva sent you, they might even give you a discount. Make sure you're over 21.
I never said that.
I made that part. So if 100 people come and like, well, Quicksilva said I get a discount. I was joking about that part, but really ask for Ryan and Melanie. They're absolutely amazing. They treat you amazing. And like I said, he really taught me. I was really, really impressed because I was kind of one of those people like Kelsey mentioned. I was on the fence, like, beer, I don't know. I drink a beer here and there once a month. I'm having crabs. But then, since then, like I'm proud to admit, I actually went out and bought some of the beer, and like it's really, really nice. They have a beer for everybody.
So speaking of that, can I drop one more?
Absolutely.
So the last Friday in the month, which the date escapes me, 25th or 26th, I think is right. 17, 24. It'll be the 26th. We have been working on a collaboration series. Holly, our head brewer again, working with different folks in the BIPOC community, trying to elevate voices, trying to elevate, again, histories and heritage and make those stories more visible inside our brewery. And so we're working with Alicia January. You know Alicia? Discover Charm City on Instagram. She came in and brewed a beer with Holly, and that one's coming out at the end of the month on the 26th. It is a lemon pound cake beer. Ooh. Because Alicia, apparently growing up, that was the dessert at every holiday, was her mom would make lemon pound cake.
That's still a dessert.
So, but that was, so we made a lemon pound. It's slightly tart. So they added a little bit of what's called a kettle sour to give it a little bit of tartness. There's going to be, I want to say raspberries, mangoes, because there was a fruit salad that Alicia would get on the side of the pound cake. So talk to Alicia because that's her baby, but that one's coming out. And we've also still got the last one we did was last month with a group of our staff here. And it's a black IPA, but it's got tangerines in it. And that one's called Station at 601. That's a killer beer as well. So we're really proud of the work that collab project's been doing.
Y'all are getting exclusives right now. Like nobody knew about this until today. So once again, on behalf of myself, Quicksilva, check me out every day, 3 until 7. The Quicksilva Show with Dominic and Diva right here on B-Boys 92Q. Thank you so much again. To Ryan, to Melanie, to all the amazing staff here. Again, it's to Tanisha. Got a shout out to my family. But thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. If you have more questions, once again, Guinness Brewery, Baltimore.com. We'll see you here all month long. St. Patrick's Day is not just one day here at Guinness. It's all month long. Don't ask me how they pulled it off, but they made it happen somehow, as I love to say, in real life. Ryan, thank you so much again. Once again, you must be 21 plus to drink. Please drink responsibly. And if you know for a fact you're coming here and you're going to have 3 beers, come enjoy yourself, but don't drink and drive. They have a partnership with Lyft.
Yep.
We'll have a dedicated driver, whatever it is. But our main goal is for you to enjoy life, have fun, but still make it home safe.
Absolutely. The perfect pint of Guinness starts when you arrive, ends when you get home safely. That's what we always say.
You heard it from Ryan the Quicksilva ourselves. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see you on the radio at 3 o'clock. Have a good day.